William Whalen here for GetMoreSports.com. And one of the names that we've talked about ad nauseum when talking about the hot seat in college basketball has been Tom Crean of Indiana. Now, Coach Crean took over Indiana at its lowest state ever. I mean, you want to talk about recruiting violations. Obviously, the standards put on that program for decades could not be fulfilled with the damage done by the previous staff. And the kind of bars that he was trying to fight through to gain steam at Indiana could not be understated. He struggled to begin with. But then things started to trend up. But Indiana fans were wondering if Tom Crean is the coach to take them to the next level. Now that Iowa lost to Ohio State last night, Indiana has clinched at least a share of the Big Ten title in 2016. It hasn't been pretty. They played by far maybe the easiest conference schedule of anybody in the country. I get that. But Indiana is a Big Ten champion, and Tom Crean is a Big Ten champion. He's officially off the hot seat. Now, of course, you want to see him follow things up next year and continue to win, but a conference championship should buy you some time. This is not exactly the result that people who wanted Tom Crean out were expecting, but Indiana got it done anyways. A name that has kind of been on the conversation radar for the hot seat has been Steve Alford at UCLA. Of course, people have been so hesitant to put him on there because of his recruiting prowess. The Bruins are bringing in as much talent as they ever have, especially locally, with the Ball brothers committed to play in the next 3 classes. However, the complete disappointment this season in Westwood, the lack of cohesion, the lack of fit, culturally or otherwise, between Alford and UCLA is starting to rear its ugly head. You don't bring in your son when he's a borderline recruit. I'm not talking about talent, because Bryce Alford is talented, but you don't bring in your son at point guard when he's a borderline recruit to UCLA and hand him the reins when you have McDonald's All-Americans sitting next to him. You simply don't do it. Even if he's capable, it's not what you do at UCLA. We're not talking about New Mexico here. We're not talking about Oregon State. We're talking about UCLA. One of the most historical programs in sports, regardless of sport or level. And Steve Alford is increasingly looking just like a poor fit there in Westwood. It's going to be interesting to see the steam that his hot seat watch gains over this season and the offseason, because he's got a huge buyout, over $7 million as of April 1st. We're going to see how that looks, because a lot of donors at UCLA are unhappy with Alford and his performance so far with the Bruins.